I'm pumped and excited to be back with everybody today. Hello friends, we're going to get into this hive, but before we do, I want to introduce you to a special friend. Hey Reef, how are you, buddy?
How are you? Good.
You're back by popular demand, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh my
Thank
gosh. I think you're going to steal away my channel. I think people are like, yeah, we want to see more Reef and less David.
No, of course not. Could never do that.
Could never do that. Well, people loved having you on. You got a great attitude, personality.
I love being here.
Yeah, well, it's good having you. And new beginner, for those that may not have saw our last video where you were here. By the way, if some of you want to join me like Reef is doing and walk through a hive with me, I'll leave an email address and you can send an email to my staff. Send a little resume why you may want to come out and help me work a hive. And we may pick one or two of you to come and do what Reef is doing, because this has been a hoot.
It is. It's awesome. It's great.
Wow, Reef, I was really happy about some of the comments. People were like, hey, when you teach him things, we're all learning. And that's what's really cool about it.
It's good. It's much better to learn that way.
Yeah. And I like your personality. You have, you're a little different for your age.
Thank you.
You're like an old soul. You have a really good personality. And one of the things I never want to do is mess around with you physically, like fight you, because you are part of MMA.
MMA, that's right.
And that's basically like being crazy in a cage, wearing nothing but like a pair of shorts, no shoes, and just beating the heck out of each other.
Yep. It's an art. It's an art.
Oh, wow.
That's what it is.
I had other words for it, but if you want to call it an art, that's an art that I don't want to get involved in right there, buddy. Wow, if I'm going to fight, I want something to protect myself. Did you ever get hurt very bad?
Just training. My fight was short, so
okay.
It didn't last as long.
Ah.
I won quickly, but
well,
during training, that's right.
Yeah. Wow.
During training, you get a bit hurt.
Well, good for you, yeah. And you've done everything. Are you a scuba diver?
Scuba diver,
yeah.
Fighting, wrestling, beekeeper.
Yeah. Cool. Got your little video channel going too.
Yeah, that's right. Video channel.
Awesome, man. That's cool. Well, why don't we suit up and we're going to get into this hive. Reef, what we're going to do today, as you can see here, it was queenless. We gave them a mated queen on 5/21. We checked back. Didn't really see a good brood pattern on June the 4th.
Yep.
So I made a little note here to check back, recheck it on 6/18. We're a day early, yep. But if there's not a queen in there laying and impressing me now, we're going to have to drop another queen in there. So that's something you can learn.
Yep, never done anything like that. So
yeah.
Good to see that. You
got to monitor that queen. That's I think some new beekeepers just don't understand how important it is to get a lot of eggs in there.
Yeah.
A lot of eggs. Okay. And that's going to be so critical. Get a lot of egg land. So let's suit up and see what's in there. Keep our fingers crossed.
Awesome.
Reef, I'll tell you a story that happened. We're talking about the weather. We've got a few thunderstorms out there, a little bit away from us, but one time, many years ago, you were probably born, but you weren't very old. I had a bunch of hives all down my lane here, and I had like a little, my kids had like a, what do you call them, a go-kart. And I was going down there doing something, and as I started going back, I noticed all the bees, it was a nice clear day, all the bees were rushing back into their hives. You can see just like, you know, like an opposite of a swarm. Bees were just like, boom, back into their hive. And immediately I thought, that's really bizarre. They don't do that unless it's a storm coming, like it's raining. But I really didn't see anything. I saw maybe this, you know, blue sky, little, normal. Yeah, not too bad. Didn't really hear thunder or anything. I got back, I got off my golf cart, and then I could hear thunder. And I could look way back there. I saw like, okay, a little dark in the west. I walked in the house. My wife says, time for supper. I get in there. We start eating supper. That storm came. And it knocked one of our poles, blew a pole down, so the wires caught a tree on fire. It knocked the windows out of a couple of our doors. It was just like...
The bees know.
The bees knew! It was like, oh my gosh, they knew way before I did.
Yep, they know.
I should have listened to them, man. I could have... I mean, I'm glad I got off that cart and got in the house, yeah.
Yeah, that'd been a rough time out there, huh?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So the bees are great weather girls.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now we got some fire.
You got some smoke.
Gonna go gloveless?
Yep.
Okay. Well, anybody that gets in a cage with a bunch of other people and fight it out.
I like the feeling of...
A bee sting is minor, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the things we're going to do is take a look. We're going to see if we have a queen. If we don't see a queen, we got to give them a queen. It's been too long. And if I don't see good brood pattern, I'm going to find the queen and kill her.
Okay.
You got to do that.
Yep.
Because she's had so much time. This hive is going to deteriorate down to nothing. I think, Reef, a lot of beekeepers that are new, they don't know how to do this right here. How do you evaluate, like, this hive isn't cutting it, you know? And I can't wait forever. I mean, I got to get this thing going. I need 2,000 eggs a day, at least 1,000, 2,000 eggs a day. And if I'm not getting that, it's over.
Got to switch it up.
Got to switch it up, yep.
Okay.
Oh, and also we're going to show you guys a cool trick on how you can use a Burns feeder board to actually cool the hive. I just made a video. I'll show you at the end. Watch this video all the way through. I made a video on how to keep your hive cool because we're burning up right now. It's going to be 96 degrees, over 100 degrees heat index. So we're going to show you how to keep this hive cooler. So watch it all the way to the end. I'm going to tell you a few things, Reef, just assuming that, you know, I know you probably know a little bit more than what I'm telling you, but just cover all bases.
Yep, tell me all.
Yep. When I smoke the entrance, that's where a lot of the guard bees are. So a few puffs of smoke in the entrance goes a long way to kind of get them calmed down. And then I like to smoke under the hood. I like to work, like in this case, I'm going to work it from this side over here. And so just barely crack it open enough to get it up a little bit, kind of get some leverage. It sticks pretty good. All right, there I can smoke under the hood, I call it. And then I just let it sit there for like, 15 seconds, let that smoke get caught in there. And then what I like to do now is just lift the top off slowly. Now, if you're brand new and you're scared of bees, you can lift it away from yourself.
Okay, and like block it like a shield?
Yeah, use it for a shield in case the bees are going to fly out of there and you're scared about it. Like that. And then you can, slow is really important. I flip it over and I look for a small hive beetle. That's usually where you'll see some beetles. So you can smash and kill, but I don't see anything. So we'll set this out of the way now. I'm going to set it out of the way and use it to hold the boxes that I'm going to look at.
Okay.
And one of these days, I keep telling myself, this box, see how it's all broken up?
Yeah.
We're going to have to replace this box.
All right.
So we're going to speed things up pretty good. We're going to just start looking at frames. So feel free to ask questions.
Sure. Is there a different, like for the plastic and the wood, like do you prefer one? For the frames?
I really don't. I would say these plastic frames do have more grooves that small hive beetle can get into and hide.
Yeah, like, okay, I see what you're talking
Yeah, you see that little, on the headboard there, you can see that little gap.
Yeah.
So you can definitely have beetles get in there and hide. It's a lot of propolis there. Phone call. I'm not going to be able to take that phone call. Pat, can you zoom in on this, what we're talking about, where small hive beetles can get into? This little edge right here, beetles can hide in there. Or this right here on the sideboard. So that's one of the things that happens with plastic frames. Don't think there's any way to get around that. But as you can see here, they pull it out nice. It's a good looking frame. So, all right, so we're going to find out if this has any brood at all, and then we're just going to pull it off. Working a little different hive tool today. It feels different.
Big.
It's big, isn't it? Yeah. I guess it would come in handy if you needed an extension for some reason. Nope. Big frame of honey. So we'll just keep sliding over until we see where brood might occur, and that's more toward the middle.
Yeah.
I do like these J hooks. It took me a while to fall in love with J hooks, but
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah,
so
I
you
know.
didn't want to change for a while.
I know. Okay, here we got some little brood. I got some drone brood, but this is all nectar in there. So just drone brood, nothing to write home about. So the queen has to impress us or she's going to be fired today. Yeah. So when you're dealing with a hive that's not in the best of shape, like queen right or not, this could be a struggle. Again, more drone brood at the bottom, nectar, so not much going on there. We're going to look at one, maybe two more frames and call this box done. because I think if the queen is there, she's going to be 2 boxes down probably. And that's the thing too. You know, this hive is all mediums. A lot of people like to run mediums for weight. You don't have so much weight to handle.
Sure.
I'm going to look at one more to be safe. But when you have 4 boxes, it's a lot more management of boxes. You got to keep, and this one's going to be heavy.
On off.
Yeah.
This one's full of.
Is it nectar?
Yeah.
Honey and nectar?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right, so no brood at all. Some people on YouTube, Reef, have been telling me that they have a problem because some of their hives, they have a queen, but they're honey bound. The queen just doesn't have any place to lay.
So honey bound just means they just bring in honey the whole time. There's no room for the queen to lay.
That's right, yeah. Okay. What do you think would be a good strategy if you had a hive that was honey bound?
Good strategy.
A lot of times it's just common sense. So what I tell people,
let's
harvest it. If it's capped over, like these are capped over,
yeah.
And if these are in the brood nest area, spin it, harvest it, bottle it.
Put it back in there.
Yeah, and then put it back in there and see if they won't start laying in it. Or you can, if you have several hives, you can move them to another hive that doesn't have enough honey. Do it like that. But don't really know why sometimes that happens. I think sometimes it's just usually a queen issue. She's not laying well enough. And so they're just making up all that empty space with nectar rather than the queen laying, because she should be laying in those places. Okay. But then you have the opposite problem. Sometimes the hives are brood bound.
Yep, and then, so what do you do then?
Well, in a case like that, about the best thing to do is just bear with them and see if they can eventually, once they emerge, they can get it all right again. But I mean, you hate to feed them if you got supers on, so that can be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see if you want to use your muscles, but let me loosen it up first. Okay. I think you're a lot stronger than I am. Well, let's say definitely you're younger.
Maybe.
Your muscles are younger.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do, it's going to weigh about 70 pounds for you.
That's full of honey.
It's a lot of honey in it. I'm going to see if I can break the propolis seal and let it slide your way a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's yours to take. Don't hurt your back. Heavy?
Bit heavy. Do you want me to set it just on its side or just straight down?
Kind of cockeye it so it reaches. Like there this. You go, perfect, yeah. All right. Oh, look, we have some drone brood here. And so that means that that drone in the lower case of those frames, it just tore open. And so those are always drones. A lot of people will ask me, I got a disease, I got some kind of foreign critter in there, but those are just drone brood. Do you see any like black mites on them or anything? I don't from up here, but I didn't put my glasses on either.
I don't see anything on them.
Okay,
good.
That's cool. We did a mite test and they were 4% on their mite load.
Will they eat those or will they'll eat them?
They'll eat them or take them out of the hive more than likely.
Okay.
But it would be good protein.
Yeah.
You can have one if you're hungry.
I'll pass.
I assure you, it would not hurt you. It'd be rather good for you.
Probably.
It'd be instant protein. It probably wouldn't taste bad either. But I'm like you. I'd rather eat a protein bar.
Yeah. I'll pass on it for
right now.
Maybe someday.
That'd be a good video.
That's right. We'll have to try everything in the hive.
So I should make a video where I wear a bee beard while eating bee larvae. Gosh.
You have to now.
I'll put it on the spin the wheel. David wears a bee beard and eats bee larvae. Wow. I think I would eat bee larvae. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't choose to eat it every day.
Yeah.
But if I was definitely starving, I'd eat it for sure.
While we're looking for this brood pattern, I want to pop in here and say I'm going to be at the Illinois State Beekeepers Association meeting, speaking there this Saturday, June the 22nd. Tickets are still available, guys. Love to see you there. Come join us. I'll leave a link right here and down in my description where you can still get a ticket. It's going to be in Effingham, Illinois this Saturday. Hope to see you there. Let's get back, keep looking how this brood pattern is. Aha, look at that.
There's some.
We didn't see that last time. I'm not sure. I would call that a tad spotty, little queen cup on the bottom, but that's probably nothing in there. Do you see anything like a larvae down in there?
Nope.
Okay. It's great having a young pair of eyes. Wow. You could rent out your services.
Yeah.
Young eyes for old beekeepers.
Some more. And then is this drone?
It is drone up there. That's right. Yep.
I remember.
Yep. The brood is, it's not bad. But that was just on one frame. Oh, that's another thing, Reef. When you're working, you get kind of excited about what you're seeing, your smoker can go out.
Yep.
So,
Especially with my tiny one. My little one.
someone said I shouldn't make fun of another man's tiny smoker. Yeah, I thought that was a good one. Like, oh, well, we have larvae. I'm okay with this. I mean, kind of okay. It's not impressive. Like I do see open larvae in the middle there, top side, but I'm just not. Boy,
It's not.
how
Perfect.
about eggs? Do you see eggs around in the open cells any? I'm thinking that's a no.
No, I don't. I
Shoot.
do not see eggs.
Why not?
I see larvae.
Yeah,
There's a lot of larvae there.
there's a
but
lot of larvae in it. Yeah, I know.
I don't see eggs.
Okay. So here's the proper. You're going to be studying biology, right?
Yes.
Okay. So larva is singular. One larva.
Oh, yes. I remember you talking about
Okay.
this.
Now people will argue about how you pronounce the plural, but it's larvae.
Larvae, yeah.
Larvae.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about
Oh,
that.
there's our queen. I see her.
Yep.
Now we have a chance to kill her. Yep, she's right there. If we don't like her, we could do away with her. But what do you think? The brood pattern
That
isn't terrible,
That
is
looks
it?
good to me right there.
Yeah, I know. Things are working. We're going to have to give them more time.
Do you want a marker?
Yeah. Oh, where'd she go? Other side?
Yep, she just climbed on the back.
Nope, she's on the part where you don't want her, right on the wood. Look at that. Gonna hang out on the wood. Yeah, I think she's gonna get the brood kind of settled down. It is a tad spotty for me, but I'm just gonna learn to live with it because she's taking so long to get going. I need bees right now. I'll wait a little bit. If it's not improved in a couple of weeks, we can replace her then. But this brood is going to help a lot. She went through a communication hole, we call them right there,
Communication holes?
on the very corner. Yeah, a lot of times you can break off the foundation there, the plastic foundation where bees go, rather than go all the way around, they can just go through that little hole. I've lost her.
Yep, I think she went back.
Oh, there she is, up high, yeah. Okay, well this might work. See if we can move her to the middle more. While I get my, I don't think she's that old either. She's pretty.
She does not want to be marked.
Yeah. Wow, she has got that corner nailed down, doesn't she? Oh!
She crawling there.
She went back in a frame. Well, let's don't chase her. We don't have to mark her. Yeah. So in the future, if you want to mark your queen, a good thing is, if you're trying to get her in the middle of the frame, rather than try to set it around here, it'd be better to walk off
Yeah.
into a place over there where if she can't walk off onto another frame, you know. Yeah. So we'll look at a couple more frames. I'll show you why I'm not crazy about her. I'm just seeing a little bit of spotty brood. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not a solid sheet. And that could be that they emerged funny. I see some nectar there. And the other side is a little worse. But we're just going to give her a minute and see if things improve. Because the last time we looked, there was no brood at all. Yeah. Okay. So let's move all these frames back together. And then what I'm going to show everyone now is, with the hot weather coming in, we need to find a way to keep this hive cool. it's really important to keep your hives cool. So we're going to use a Burns feeder board and show a technique to keep her cooled down. So we'll put all our frames back just like this. We got one more frame of honey to put near the wall here. It's a nice hive to work, nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
Not bad. So how are your hives looking? Are they
good?
You got good brood?
Yep, really good.
Oh,
all
good.
Looks
Yep.
better than this. It's like a flat sheet of all across, and then honey in the top corners.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Good brood
That's
pattern.
really good.
Okay, so you want to pick up, now when you pick this up, Pat, come over here and I want to show a little technique of picking up a super that you have on the ground. So the technique is, if you pick it up just like that, what's going to happen? Top cover is going to come with you.
Yep.
And that's annoying. So I put 1 foot on the corner, yeah, to hold her down. That way it'll break apart when you lift. There you go, perfect. Wow. Perfect. Oh my gosh, it's like having a crane. Like having a lift. Now, if you take one hand and put it opposite corners, square up that corner, yeah, either corner, but square it up how it feels for you, that will square up the other two perfectly. There you go.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Just
good.
A bit broken on that
All
side.
right. All right, now let's drop a Burns feeder board on here. This is how we're going to keep this hive cool coming up on these hot days. Yep, just like that, perfect. Oh, you really watch a lot of my videos.
That's right. I put one on.
You put that on correctly too, because I like that you put this in the back. I don't know why, I just like it back there.
Me too. I saw you put it on like that, and that's how I did mine.
All right, let's get our water. Make sure the lid's on real tight. If it's tight for you, I'll never get it off.
That's pretty good.
I'll be like, who tightened this up?
Right in the middle?
Yeah. All right, cool. Now we're going to put another deep frame around here, but for people right now, I want you to see the hot air that may accumulate in the top of this hive is going to escape through these vents right here, these open screens, and it's going to get up into this box. And so that way we're giving a place for the heat to rise up away from the brood. It's going to help them stay cooler. All right, let's put the deep on now. There you go. And this is just plain water. I don't really need to feed them. As you can see, there's plenty of good stuff going on. I'm going to put this box right on here. So this is about 9 5/8 inches of box or area on a deep box. You can use a super if you got an extra box. But once we put the lid on, it's going to allow more heat to come up and get out of there. Now, another thing that I've talked about, I'll take my glove off here. I think I got some change in my pocket. Maybe not. Anybody got any change?
No. But I know I got a nail.
You got a nail? What's the nail look like?
It's kind of big. Not that.
I don't mind that nail. What were you doing with that nail? That's pretty.
I probably picked it up off the ground while I was working, and
Yeah, you did a little. You're helping your grandpa build houses.
Yep.
Dang, that's hard work, isn't it?
it is. It's not easy.
That's going to be hard for us to make stay.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah. But anyway, the idea is to put a spacer there, so when we put our top back, it's going to be jacked up a bit to allow the bees to ventilate more air. Let's try to find something on the ground, more like a broader stick, something that's a little bit wider. Got some choices?
Got some choices.
I also I found this, which is the entrance of a plastic bottom board, an entrance reducer for the plastic Bee Smart bottom boards we sell. I've never thought about using them, but it has some width to it. Look at that carpenter ant there. They don't really bother beehives. They're just kind of looking around for anything to eat. That might work pretty good right there.
I think that'll work good.
Yeah. And if you're smart, and if you carry some black tape like this with you on your bee suit, and I need some more. Ooh, Gorilla Tape never gives up, does it? You could actually, let's tape it down to the back side.
And why do you not use inner covers? Like, why do none of your hives have?
Are you trying to poke the bear? If anybody asks me why I don't use inner covers, it's like, you got a beetle?
Yep.
All right, kill that beetle.
That's my first one I've ever seen.
I'm glad you caught it. All right, we got that tape down. And we just lay that up there, and that'll jack it up a little bit. Perfect. Yeah. Pat, get a shot of what I did over here. I think that's good on the backside. This is kind of like you learn as you go, right? So I just took my little piece of black tape. This is an entrance off the Bee Smart that I'm not using. I just kind of, you know, taped it right there for a minute. So now you're going to have that gap. And so bees can't rob or get in there. They don't rob this time of the year. We got screen between here and the hive anyway. It's just enough to allow a little ventilation there. Now let me answer his question. That's a great question. Why don't I use inner covers? An inner cover is designed to help ventilation. So sometimes it is useful, especially like in the winter time. It provides a little bit of a gap between the outside air and the inside of the hive. But I feed my bees in the winter time with the candy board. And so I don't need that gap. I can't use that inner cover there. But right now, it's just one more piece of wood that I have to have on the hive.
That's not that big of a deal.
Not that big of a deal for me. Commercial beekeepers don't use them.
Yep.
You know, and so
it's another piece you got to worry about on the ground.
Yeah, just one more thing that I had to, and I know a lot of people use them. A lot of people love them. I've made 2 or 3 videos about why I don't use them, and somebody will tell me why they love them. Now, I do think if you're using wooden tops, it does help take the top off.
Okay.
Because sometimes the wooden top sticks to the wooden box.
Yeah, you can't get it
and the inner cover helps it not to be stuck so bad. But then the inner cover is stuck really bad. So it's a coin toss, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so on this hive, we kind of looked it over. Not happy with the brood, but happier. We're happy that we see any brood. So now we're going to leave notes again. So this is good to have. A lot of people ask me, you know, how do you take notes? How do you make notes on your hives? And so this works good for me. Is just to take my queen marking pen, make a little note here. All right, so today is
the 17th.
Yeah, 6. This is an old marking pen from the last time it was green, I think. 24. Boy, what should we call that? It would be like, I wouldn't want to call it spotty, but something.
Not perfect. I don't know.
Yeah, that's too many words.
I know. For your lingo.
Yeah. Let's do that. Not perfect, NP, not perfect brood. We'll remember what that is.
Yep.
Okay, that pen is not good. But anyway, now we have an idea, but I'll say decent. Wow, no S, huh?
Perfect.
Okay, good. All right, Reef, what'd you think?
It was awesome. It was good learning in there.
Good. I think on the next hive, I'm gonna let you do it all.
I like that. I like that
Yeah,
idea.
I think you will, won't you? Let you kind of do things and figure it out. But yeah, this is a kind of a thing where sometimes you can get a queen issue, and you know you want good brood, but the reason I didn't kill that queen because I need brood, and if she's gonna lay me some brood right now, let's get something going.
Yep.
For a little while.
For sure.
And so probably going to come back. I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks. And then if I still see that level of spotty brood, not really good solid brood, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to replace the queen. The problem with replacing the queen is then we have to go through the whole process again of, is the next one going to work out, right?
Yep.
And so sometimes you can kill one queen for a better one, wind up with a worse one. Wind up with, maybe they don't accept her. So now you can go 30 more days.
Yeah, then what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You're going to get further behind, the hive's getting weaker. So in this case, it was a good decision to say the brood pattern, maybe 75% brood viability, and it should be about 80 or 85. So we're just down a little bit. Gonna let her try to pull her weight and see what happens.
We'll see what happens. What about like the extra entrances here? Is that?
Are there any over there?
Well, like this, like they can go in and out of there. Would that ever be a problem?
Oh, okay. No, because they really won't use that entrance over there. It's a little crack where the little box joints have separated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you compare, like Pat, maybe you can get a scene of this over here. That's a good question. You know, like this is I think a well-built box joint where you have these like a finger box joints there. Well, look at this one. This is a rabbet joint where you're cutting a little bit off each of these boxes and joining them together. There's more wood exposed on this box joint than it is on a rabbet joint, because you can see the exposed edge wood is less than here if you count both sides like this. Moisture gets in here, and the moisture causes all of this to happen, and so what's happened, it's rolled back. Now, bees are policing that pretty good. There's a bee there. It's not robbing season. But yeah, these joints like this, they can be a problem in the fall when bees start robbing. Robber bees would quickly take advantage of that joint right there.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to remember the next time we come down here is to pull this. We might put it in a vise if we want to keep it and try to vise it, clamp it, put some glue in there, re-nail it, or we might just forfeit it and take it out of service. But yeah, that's just a challenge. Good question. Hey, good job, Reeve. I appreciate you helping out today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, we're gonna work a few more hives, make a few more videos. If you'd like to see the video where I told all the 5 or 6 tips on how to keep your bees cooler in this hot weather, here it is right over here. Take a look. We'll see you guys over there.